one. I love it. I love it.
Live inside Thomas is EuroAsia Scrum. Thomas, tell me about the things in your world.
My world, yes.
Well, really, it's all good. It's all good. I mean,
it's all good actually.
Oh.
No, I just the MOOC is starting, and this Sunday I will host a new student group with OptiCourse, supporting a new batch of students, hopefully. So that's interesting. And I reviewed some pull requests. I merged in a small pull request from Michael on website 1. Just some code cleaning stuff, but it's a good catch. We have some code just lying around, not being used anymore. So we have to do some cleaning up.
Is that Michael of LocalSupport frame?
Michael of LocalSupport, yes sir, yes sir. It's good to have him involved in website 1.
Absolutely.
Even to a small degree. I've been working a little bit on the events index page yesterday before I went to bed. So I'm moving forward on that. And I also did a small addition to the we have a feature story, me and Sasha, we had this for a long time.
Yes.
I just want to finish that off with a new version of the dashboard with an interactive map showing off where our members are. It's not a priority, but I just came to a realization. I had a eureka moment in the shower, so I just had to update that code a little bit.
Good job.
And other than that, not much is happening. Off to work soon, and yeah, just hacking away on my Rails projects. Basically, it's all about Rails.
Right. Any thoughts about the AV102 course?
Yes. Well, I was thinking. I didn't manage to do anything yesterday. Actually, I'm sorry about that. But I can do some updates today. I would need you to show me how to copy those elements, because I remember I don't know how to, you know.
It's kind of it's a pain, and maybe I can just. Oh, what did I do there? No, that's if we go into AV102, you know, it's the kind of thing that could, with a slightly different design, be really, really, really simple, but it's edX. So I mean, I shouldn't do them because they've done great stuff. But yeah, my little pet peeve. But so the basic process, if you kind of go, so like here we've got supporting the MOOC week 7. This is the one thing that we would want to change. So I would start off by clicking View Unit in Studio there, and that takes me here. And so this is kind of the one that I want to change. But what I'm also going to need is, in order to kind of copy what's over here, like I would be so, if I could, I mean, anybody ever watches this? I don't know. It's like, if I go back, this is the format. Oh, is that not the right one? Wait a sec, supporting the MOOC. That looks. Well, it looks like I didn't remove the chat. Am I getting confused here? Oh, sorry, that's still supporting level 2. Or maybe I updated the name of that one, but not the underlying thing actually. So this is, oh, I put this wrong. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like, yeah, okay, yeah, this one here, that's like updated. This one there looks like that's not updated. So I'm not sure about the thing. Anyway, so this is more the format that we're going for. So I view that unit in the studio, and I view this unit in the studio. Now, of course, what would be really nice, what I would like to be able to do, is just say, you know, replicate this one, you know, adding it. But we can't do that. We can replicate these individual ones in here, which is of almost no use whatsoever. But we can't replicate at the higher level. Okay. So here, it looks to me actually like the very last one that we tried to think didn't actually get published.
Oh, really?
Maybe something that Norbert was
complaining about. Yes.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Like the last one there. See, that was why I was sort of surprised there, and I came to the title got updated. This is again like this whole publish, not publish. thing drives me nuts. Like, it's just so error prone. So if we then back up and have a look, so what? Yeah. So actually, what we want is, so what have we got here? This is the last one that got published incorrectly. This is now the one to update. So again, I mean, they have added this view unit in Studio, which makes, I mean, although to be honest, I think the biggest problem is they shouldn't have a separate admin navigation system and a normal thing. But so the process now of, why am I? Yeah, that's an updated one. That's an updated one. Oh, supporting the MOOC week 7. Okay, here. This one is now one that we, okay, so this is the old style. So first of you can get set up with like, okay, here's my old style. So the first thing is come through and delete the live chat, which we're not using anymore because it's linked to the old system. And then, so what I would do here is, in order to just copy over, I have to kind of go in here and I say, well, we need like this block here with the AV102 specialized tracks. And we don't have that at the moment. What I would have to do here is I'd have to make an HTML component like this, move that up to the top, like so, come back over here, edit this one, grab the content for that, and edit this one, slap that in there, in the settings to get the display name. I mean, it pains me to like, the time that kind of goes, you know, with anybody doing this. But so this one, the wiki thing, we're not doing anymore. So we cancel out of there. So that component is not needed anymore. We remove that. We have to confirm that we want to delete it. We've got supporting the MOOC week 7 is written there. That I think has not fundamentally changed. Oh.
Okay, so you basically have to go back and forward.
Yeah, you basically have to go backwards and forwards. Like, so this is that one there needs to be turned into submit TA work. I mean, we kind of almost, I'm kind of confused because one of them already says level 3. So maybe the thing didn't get released and actually we had the stuff ready, and I don't know, I have to say I got confused about the dates of the week we're in and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, the thing is that it's another problem here, that I don't think we're going to have the specialized track for projects on this one, on level 3. You know, I don't have enough materials for them to work on.
Right. You don't have to give them, I mean, you've done amazing stuff to add these additional materials, but it doesn't have to be any special materials. The default thing from my point of view was just like, you know, work on a feature each week. And it doesn't have to be any new materials. I mean, to the extent that Norbert I mean, there's 2 or 3 people who are kind of interested in this, that, and the other. I don't know if even one of them is kind of regularly committing to. I certainly don't worry about having to generate, you know, a unique and interesting new thing. Just say, to get your credit for this week on the project track, submit your what have you. You know what I mean?
But I found it rather interesting to get the new materials. Basically.
Oh, no, I think it's wonderful if you've got the time. If you haven't got the time, but I think that shouldn't stop us in principle having, you know, at least going through here, you know, making the thing work. Anyway, so there. Have I done the? I'm even confused.
So while you're copying this over, let me pitch you a small idea. You know, I've been working and writing about this certain paths, tracks within Agile Ventures, you know, and I've been talking to some people here that I know in Gothenburg about what motivates people to you know, work at all and also to contribute to open source. And I was thinking about how, as a part of this path thing, you know, if we could have a AV101 and AV102, you know, like two courses, like contributing to open source projects in Agile Ventures and leading open source projects.
Yes.
We could reuse a lot of the material that we have for this course, you know, in terms of presentations and, you know, slides.
Yeah.
And you know, I could re-record some of the lectures perhaps if my English is good enough, and or I can motivate you just to record something sometimes. But perhaps I know that you're short on time, but so
yeah,
I would like to.
I'm hoping,
you know, I wouldn't like to you know, I don't want to put any more strain on you, but I think it would be good for us to have these two courses. You know, it could be a good onboarding thing, basically.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, that all sounds great to me. Yes, it all sounds good. Yeah, I need to put more time.
But I don't know if I would like to use edX for that. It's a great system and everything, you know, with the homeworks and the submissions and stuff. However,
no, I wouldn't use. I mean, I wouldn't use edX just because I think the management overhead is awful.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're using GitHub to manage our entire course. I mean, I created a stub previously. Anyway, so this is like, you know, the thing that I just did there, that's the thing that I usually do on a Tuesday evening to get. But you can see it's very sort of set. I mean, I haven't really, you know, double-checked all the numbers and so on. But, you know, there's a space here for you to put stuff for project track in there, which could just be, you know, a simple. You could actually use this. You know, that works, that copy thing, and then that would be just submit and it can be as simple as that. I agree. It's great doing all the different kinds of things. What I had done, so I won't publish that one. That's there. You can remove the duplicate.
Yeah.
But so what I had done, was it on paired programming? There was this discussion that we had before with one of the guys. What did we call it? It was like open source course that I had done under. I mean, personally, it would be. I would much rather use my repositories. Can I search in my repositories? I mean, I just want to find you this open source. Did I end up putting it under the paired programming guys? But yeah. Anyway, I mean, just running out of time.
That's why I was kind of interested in this Ronin thing, you know, because it's or whatever, you know.
I mean, that may still happen. It's just yeah. Open source. I definitely created a repo at one point called Open GitHub Tansaku. Yeah, which I now can't find for some reason. Anyway, I have to do it. I'll just update you on some Mike. So I managed to send out the email for the MOOC yesterday and get Jonathan everything you needed for Ops course. I had the beta stars as the AutoGraders client meeting. The Spocker was still hacking away at things. We had actually 3 people from Stanford Open Learning Initiative coming and studying our process, which was interesting. But yeah, I've got the LocalSupport client meeting today. I'm kind of having general chat. Here, obviously, we had that fun yesterday with me introducing you to the Makers crew yesterday. But yeah, that's my update. I'm trying to work out a talk on test coverage right now, which I must get back to. But yeah, forgive me if it seems like I'm kind of fobbing you off. But I think, you know, the idea of an open source course that's, you know, about open source, and it's kind of, you know, it's all completely transparent, and it encourages people to submit to open source projects and like gives pathways, like you're saying, is just yes, absolutely, that would be wonderful. Do you know what I mean? It's just a question of making it happen. I mean, I think in the long term, you know, Makers, in principle, I mean, so what I really love about what's happening at Makers is we've got this sort of internal to private repos that we use with just all of the course materials. And I think, you know, the CEO is open at some point in the future. He wants to scale it out so millions of people can learn using it. At the moment, of course, one of the things that our students are paying for is to come and have access to our materials. So, you know, the timeline for that happening is, you know, as you can imagine, not a trivial one. But we'll see. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking. Tell me other things, Thomas, before we leave.
No, but basically, you know, if you know, from my perspective, my personal perspective, this would, you know, creating this courses, since I am interested in, I have a personal interest in online education. I found it very fascinating, you know, and I would like to work with that, you know, within the framework of Agile Ventures. So that's why I was thinking about, you know, perhaps devoting some time to creating course materials. But you know, the first thing, unfortunately, even though technology shouldn't be stopping us, but one of the first decisions would have to be what platform to use, because that would, of course, mean, I mean, if we go with edX, for instance, then we're kind of locked into that because we cannot, as far as I'm concerned, it's difficult to export things from edX to
so into other programs. I mean, I would be strongly against making any kind of commitment on my part to be working with edX as a thing. I would just say that sensibly, the MVP uses GitHub, and you just make it available.
Yes. However, we need to have some sort of a system for submitting homework assignment, or stuff like that. Because otherwise, I think we kind of.
Well,
this is my theory that we can lose. Yes,
right.
Yes, of course.
That should be and so the pull request is there, and then I mean. This is the thing. I mean, people need to submit the pull request. I guess the critical thing is that people need to have some way of the kind of checked off of have they submitted the pull request for this week kind of thing. I mean, it's sort of and what it is. I mean, whether it's using the Ronin system, whatever, is it just basically should be using the GitHub API to basically gamify GitHub so that you, like it says, here's your open source rating for this, the last 3 months. I mean, in some ways, like in exactly the same way that GitHub do themselves. I can't believe I can't find this.
Exactly. So we can count the amount of requests, the commits. We can see how many pull requests have actually been merged. So we can check that.
Exactly. What it should, the thing that it from my perspective should obviously be, if I kind of go to myself, like it's basically it should be a version of this, right? So I'm already we can see GitHub as actually a large-scale course, and here is my report card, right? And so basically what we want to do is to have a variation on this report card that basically says not just how many times have I done individual commits, but how many pull requests have I had accepted into, and if we dig around in the existing GitHub interface, we may just find that they have that for us somewhere. Yeah. And even if they haven't, then we've got the GitHub API in order to reflect that. The Ronin system that you have access to uses the GitHub API to basically, a pathway through the system. So yes, I think we're on totally the same page there.
Yeah. So it would be, So, but again, I don't know if we could build again. That's why I asked for the Ronin system in the first place. If we can build upon that, but it's proprietary, so we can't do it. Or if we we want to develop something from scratch.
We have implicit agreement for open source and components of it. I mean, I have 2 people on the engineering team here now who are gradually doing things. I mean, you can look at as well if we go to Maker's account. I mean, it's just I've got to move on it, but if we look here, basically now this Unixoid challenge thing, which is one of the initial challenges that our students do, this now also contains a gem, which is called gem Unixoid-challenge. If you do gem install Unixoid challenge, you can basically, this does the grading of of this challenge. But anyway, basically, feel free to have a look at that. I can get you more information about it soon. So. Yeah, but I've really got to run now.
Sure thing. All right.
We'll carry on.
Okay, brother.
Okay, all right. Bye for now.
All right, take it easy.